Not long, however, before backstage life began to take a large role in affecting the facade of happiness that the audience saw on stage. With two casts performing the same material, the inevitable comparison in competition was the catalyst for hurt feelings and negative emotions that would rock the entire ensemble.
Oh, as the other cast is somewhat the unreliable cast, I have gone into that cast as well when someone was missing on that day. So I have actually had the chance to experience both pre-show casts. And I'd have to say my cast is by far the superior cast. You know, the other cast, I don't know if you know this, but they actually had a rehearsal called, which we've never had to do.
Did they actually have the rehearsal?
They got out of it. I think it may have been a day that it rained, and they were complaining about the frizziness of their hair.
It's the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday cast. We don't have all that little stuff that goes, you know, all the inside stuff that no one gets, so it makes them look like idiots. But don't tell anyone I said that. You know me. I like to get along with everyone.
I'd have to say the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
And why is that?
I just don't like Wyatt Darling.
The Monday, Wednesday, Friday cast had to have some extra rehearsals because they weren't really doing their job. And so I guess that would kind of leave it as the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday cast kind of didn't need those rehearsals. So I think that we're kind of a little bit on top right now.
You know, since you're in both casts, if you could choose a cast that's better than the other, which one would you choose?
Gee, that's hard, but they're so, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Well, like Brett told Tracy, our cast was slacking, and it was like big trauma, and they were like, you guys are gonna have to come at 6, we're gonna have a rehearsal, and I was like, oh hell no, I'll laugh if I have to, but I'm not coming to a rehearsal.
Well, it wasn't so much what they were doing as what they weren't doing. You know, it was one of those things that we needed to tighten up a little bit. You know, we were going through a little bit of, as I said, you know, little egos were happening here and there, and as I said, you could see that the audience were identifying certain individuals and not the rest. And it is fully an ensemble production, and that's something that we wanted to try to bring back. And it's interesting that once we said we were going to have a rehearsal, everyone sort of remembered, you know, that they were all in this show together, and that they really kind of had to work as an ensemble, and it was no longer
I think I saw
a
that
star
change. I think I really did.
It was a little frustrating because we were just trying to make the pre-show fun for us, because it's stupid anyway. Like, even if we had a rehearsal, like, it wouldn't be better because it's poorly written. And so we were really frustrated because it was like, how can we make this better? We really can't.
Actually took the threat of a brush-up rehearsal to make me actually laugh. Because I used to just stand there and be like, I don't think this is funny. My character didn't think it was funny. And I'd just be like, oh, blah, blah, blah.
The stage manager was giving us dirty looks, and that's not good. And I'm afraid we might have to have another rehearsal.
And how is that affecting your performance tonight?
I'm a little nervous. Like, I don't need to worry about what the stage manager thinks, you know? Like, I worry about what the audience thinks.
Why do you think he thinks you need to have another rehearsal?
Because he's giving us dirty looks again. He's standing up there, like, scowling at us, Brett, jeez, and, like...
I don't know, like, he has a lot of...
Like, we're just up there having fun, and, like, and we're trying to sit here and give us dirty looks. Yeah, right.
As is inevitable whenever actors work in close proximity, love began to blossom between several couples. Many relationships started off innocently enough, but a few torrid love affairs rocked the cast. Is there anything going on between you two? I mean, it just sort of seems like you kind of have something going on, and I don't know, I just want to know if there's...
Well, as you know, my husband, Sean Peruka, is also in the show. So I'd really appreciate it if we could just not talk about that.
Okay. Just as a thought, I think you're... If there is something going on, I think you cover it well, and if there's not, I think you're a great actress.
Thanks.
In that moment, when you're sort of, you know, having a little chat, as it were, with, you know, Cowboy Joe, are the jokes funny to you? Because you're sure laughing.
That's why I'm hired here. I'm a professional actress. That's my job. I laugh.
In this cast, obviously, your partner in the Cowboy Joe section is obviously Emily Peruka.
Yeah.
Is there anything going on between you and her? Because it sure looks so like that on stage.
Well, I'm not supposed to say anything, but I felt a little something between us.
As I mentioned earlier, my husband is also in the pre-show. And we've been split apart. We're not partners. I'm partners with Scotty, who actually is in both pre-shows. And it's been hard, knowing that Sean's over there dancing with Adria, sharing these, intimate moments. And I'm dancing with Scotty. And is this film confidential?
You're fine.
I'm working on my character development for the pre-show. And her name is Ingrid. If you'd like to know that, my character name is Ingrid.
That's great.
And being partners with Scotty, we actually have a stage kiss during one of the numbers. And I've just found it really difficult because Scotty's gay. And we have to kiss.
Is that hard for you?
Well, just knowing that I've just kissed Scotty and then I go off and Sean has Adria's lipstick all over his face. But we talked about this. When we were getting engaged, we discussed, in theater, sometimes you are asked to do these things that may break our marital vows. And I'm okay with it. I mean, it's hard. It's never going to be easy to kiss someone else on stage and know that my husband is kissing someone else, but damn it, I can do it.
As the run progressed, it became apparent that the Southern Utah audience was not responding to parts of the script, and the arduous process of making cuts began in earnest.
My favorite part of the pre-show is that we get to keep making cuts periodically from day to day, shortening it, making it better and better.
Whose decisions are the cuts, and how are they made?
That's privileged information, Rob. I don't know if I can go there.
Of course you can, come on.
Normally I don't get so emotionally invested in the pre-show. But today is an exception.
Why? What happened?
My partner wasn't there today. No big deal. I can do my own thing, right? So, for some reason, everyone in the cast seems to be taking it into their heads that since I don't have a partner today, I need to be pushed around on stage. Incorporated into their step touches in the back, if you will, which I don't even know what they're doing. So they'll push me around and and then 2 seconds later when it doesn't work and I look stupid, then they're like, and then every single number somebody did I'm so frustrated. And so I feel stupid and I don't even care what people think. It's a freaking pre-show, for crying in the sink.
Okay, on a regular night when, you are okay with the pre-show, do you have a favorite part?
Yes.
What?
It is the lack of go to sleep a little baby. Which is a new development.
They cut Go to Sleep Little Baby?
They used to tell us that tonight we're cutting Sleep a Little Baby. Just tonight. But now it's done.
Well, unfortunately, we had to cut that. It was kind of taking on a life of its own.
Well, it seems to me that the Cowboy Joe was cut because we lost Kevin Gertzen.
Yes, that's true. And Richie Franklin, though, could have more than well have done the show. We were just afraid that he would create such a fan base that people would forget about the rest of the people in the production.
Well, naturally.
That they would all be coming to see Cowboy Joe, and it would no longer be a show about Utah. It would have to be about Cowboy Joe.
The monotony of performing the same show every night began to take its toll on several cast members, resulting in random cases of dementia, psychological disorders, and outbreaks of diva attitudes.
I think I might be bipolar.
I'm Sarah Ann. I'm a pioneer. I'm just staying here for a little while.
I know I'm just an intern, but we have feelings too.
Can you